The roar of a Detroit diesel engine echoing through the Marambaya proving grounds in Rio de Janeiro is a sound familiar to generations of Brazilian soldiers. But in late November 2024, that mechanical growl was accompanied by something entirely new: the precise digital whir of servo motors adjusting a weapon system with surgical accuracy. For decades, the M113 armored personnel carrier has been the workhorse of the Brazilian Army, affectionately known as the battle taxi. It was rugged, reliable, but undeniably a relic of the Cold War, a platform where a gunner had to expose their torso to enemy fire to operate the machine gun. However, recent developments have fundamentally rewritten the destiny of this legendary vehicle. The integration of the Remax 4 remote weapon station onto the modernized M113BR chassis represents more than just a hardware upgrade. It is a declaration of technological maturity and a masterclass in military pragmatism that places the Brazilian defense industrial base firmly on the global map. To understand the magnitude of this evolution, one must first look at the platform itself. The M113 has served in the Brazilian Army since the 1960s, and critics have long argued for its retirement in favor of newer, more expensive infantry fighting vehicles. Yet, the High Command chose a path of strategic ingenuity. Instead of scrapping hundreds of hulls, the Army initiated a comprehensive modernization program culminating in the M113BR Standard. This was not a superficial facelift. The logistical prowess of the Regional Maintenance Park of the 5th Military Region stripped these vehicles down to their aluminum bones, installing robust 265 horsepower Detroit diesel 6V53T engines and Allison TX100-1A cross-drive transmissions. This transformed the vehicle's mobility, allowing it to navigate the challenging topography of the South American continent with renewed vigor. However, until late 2024, one critical vulnerability remained. The firepower was still analog, manual, and dangerous for the operator. The definitive solution to this vulnerability arrived with the Remax 4, a system that serves as the technological centerpiece of this revolution. Developed by Ares Aerospatial e Defesa, a company deeply rooted in the Brazilian defense ecosystem, the Remax 4 is a fourth-generation remote-controlled weapon station that brings the capabilities of a 21st-century main battle tank to a 60-year-old troop carrier. During the rigorous evaluations conducted by the Army Evaluation Center in November 2024, the system demonstrated capabilities that would have been science fiction to the original crews of these vehicles. The station is fully stabilized on 2 axes using advanced gyroscopes, a feature that fundamentally alters the tactical profile of the M113BR. In the past, firing a .50 caliber machine gun while the vehicle was moving over rough terrain resulted in wasted ammunition and suppressed fire at best. With the Remax 4, the gun remains locked on the target regardless of how violently the chassis pitches or rolls, granting the vehicle a true shoot-on-the-move capability with high hit probability. The human element of this technological leap cannot be overstated. In modern asymmetric warfare, whether in urban pacification scenarios or border defense operations in the Amazon, the exposed gunner is the primary target for snipers and improvised explosive devices. The integration of Remax 4 brings the soldier inside the armored hull, seated comfortably before a ruggedized LCD console. Controlling the weapon with a joystick similar to a video game controller, the operator is protected by the vehicle's armor while wielding superior situational awareness. The optical suite provided by Ares includes high-definition day cameras and, crucially, thermal imaging sensors. This thermal vision strips away the cover of darkness, camouflage, and dense foliage, allowing Brazilian mechanized infantry to detect heat signatures from engines or personnel at extended ranges. The M113BR is no longer just a transport. It has become a hunter-killer platform capable of operating 24 hours a day, in any weather condition. From an industrial and economic perspective, this project is a triumph of Brazilian sovereignty. In a global arms market where a single modern infantry fighting vehicle can cost upwards of $5 million, the revitalization of the M113 fleet represents an exceptional return on investment. By combining an existing paid-for chassis with a state-of-the-art domestic weapon system, Brazil achieves a combat capability comparable to brand-new foreign vehicles at a fraction of the cost. Furthermore, by sourcing the weapon station from Ares in Brazil, the Army ensures that the intellectual property, maintenance supply chains, and technical expertise remain within national borders. This aligns perfectly with the National Defense Strategy's goal of reducing dependence on external suppliers for critical defense technologies. The reais spent on these systems circulate back into the Brazilian economy, fostering high-tech jobs and engineering talent within the country. The operational synergy created by this upgrade also speaks to a maturing doctrine of combined arms. The M113BR, equipped with Remax 4, is not operating in a vacuum. It is designed to fight alongside the Guarani, which also utilizes Ares weapon stations, and the incoming Centauro tank destroyers. This standardization of fire control systems simplifies training and logistics. A gunner trained on a Guarani can transfer to an M113BR and immediately understand the interface, creating a flexible and interchangeable force structure. The data link capabilities inherent in modern digital turrets also open the door for future network-centric warfare, where target data could theoretically be shared between an M113, a drone, and a command post instantly. Critics might argue that the aluminum armor of the M113 is still a limitation in an era of high-penetration anti-tank weapons. While valid, this argument misses the strategic intent of the vehicle. The M113BR with Remax 4 is not designed to spearhead a breakthrough against heavy armor. That is the job of the Leopard 1A5 or the future main battle tank. The role of the M113BR is to provide rapid, protected mobility for infantry and to offer overwhelming precision fire support against soft targets, light vehicles, and fortified positions. With the addition of the thermal turret, it can now perform reconnaissance by fire and overwatch duties that were previously impossible, identifying threats long before the vehicle enters the effective range of enemy portable anti-tank weapons. As the Brazilian Army looks toward the horizon of 2035, the VBC Fuzz program will eventually introduce a completely new tracked replacement. However, military procurement is a marathon, not a sprint. In the intervening decade, the M113BR will not merely be a placeholder, it will be a potent combat asset. The successful firing tests at the Marambaya Proving Grounds have proven that old steel can learn new tricks, provided there is the political will and engineering talent to adapt. This hybrid beast, half vintage mechanical ruggedness, half cutting-edge optronics, symbolizes the Brazilian approach to defense: resilient, resourceful, and increasingly autonomous. Ultimately, the image of the M113BR firing its .50 caliber machine gun via the Remax 4 screen is a powerful message to the region and the world. It signals that Brazil does not need to purchase off-the-shelf solutions for every capability gap. By fusing the trusted reliability of the Detroit diesel engines with the digital precision of Ares optics, the land force has created a force multiplier that respects the budget while protecting the soldier. The thermal turret revolution is not just about better aiming. It is about ensuring that when the Brazilian mechanized infantry rolls out, they do so with the distinct advantage of seeing the enemy first, engaging first, and returning home safely. The old warhorse has not only been saved from the scrapyard, it has been given a new set of eyes and a renewed purpose in the defense of national sovereignty.